Once again, welcome back to Metric Hub, whereby we're going to discuss communication N5, work ethics, work ethics, work ethics. So, I'm going to define work ethics. So, work ethics are the moral principles that guides people's behavior within an organization. Uh, those are the moral principles that guides employees within an organization, right? So you're saying within an organization we have principles on how we are supposed to dress, principles on how we are going to behave, how we are going to express our feelings within an organization. Those are what you call ethics, right? Ethics, right? Expected behavior at work. These are the expected behavior at work. What is expected? Expected behavior at work. We call them work ethics. Work ethics. The moral principles that guides the behavior of employees within an organization, or a moral principle that guides people's behavior in society. We have societal behavioral, whereby how you are supposed to behave, right, in the society. There are behavior that are defined as taboos within an organization, unacceptable behavior within a society, right? So the work ethics refers to the person's attitudes, feelings, beliefs, and what they believe to be suitable and correct behavior at work. What they believe to be correct attitudes at work, correct feelings at work, correct beliefs at work. What we feel or we believe that it is suitable and correct at work, we call it a work ethics. Ethics, work ethics, the correct behavior, the acceptable behavior that employees are supposed to behave at work. For example, at work you cannot, it is not acceptable to steal or to share confidential information. That's ethics. It's not allowed to come to work drunk. That's ethics, right? What is not accepted or accepted at work, we call them what? Work ethics. The expected behavior at work is what you call work ethics, right? So I'm going to move on to elements of work ethics. Elements of work ethics, right? So I'm going to start by explaining punctuality, right? Punctuality means to be at the right time, at the right place. Punctuality refers to be on time, to be on time, meaning to say an employee is expected to be at work on time, right? He is expected to be at work on meetings. So you need to be on time for work and also for meeting. For example, if the meeting is scheduled at 1, you're supposed to be 5 to 1, you're supposed to be seated. At work, they are maybe starting time at work, they're supposed to be on time, right? You're supposed also to hand over a projects or assignment on time. On time, you should meet deadlines. You should meet deadlines at work, right? So let's move on to the next element of work ethics, which is what you call neatness. Neatness. So meaning to say your work and your workplace, is it, should you look neat and professional. Neatness. Even yourself, you're supposed to look neat and professional. Neatness. Your workplace and even your workspace is supposed to be always neat. Your work, right? Whenever you're doing something, you make sure that it is neat and professional. Neatness. You're supposed to wear clothes that are neat and well ironed. And also you're supposed to dress professionally. Right? Neatness. Neatness. These are the what you call expected behavior, right? You're supposed to make sure that your work is neat and also your workplace or space is neat and professional, right? And then I'm going to discuss the third element of work ethics, right? So it is the right to share professional, it is not right at all to share confidential company information. It is not allowed, it is not acceptable to share confidential company information with the family or friends or even relatives. Right? You're not allowed to share confidential information with the family and the friends. Right? So to practice good work ethics, you're supposed to make sure that you keep sensitive and classified information to yourself. You are not allowed to share any confidential information with even your colleagues, even your friends, or maybe family members. It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable to share confidential information with the colleagues or with them, with the family members. Make sure that you keep sensitive information or you keep classified information to yourself. Maybe it might happen that you work with confidential documents. So it is not allowed, it is not acceptable for you to share or to share or to give confidential information to others. Keep confidential information private, right? Information. Keep confidential information private information. You are not allowed to share that information, right? So it is not acceptable for one to share confidential company information with others. It is not allowed, right? So I mean to say, sometimes companies might sue maybe an employee who share company information, because some company information can get to the hands of the competitor to an extent that the organization will be out of business. Imagine when someone gets share confidential information for KFC, it means that another KFC, a photocopy will open next door. Mean to say the company will be out of what? Out of business. Because the main reason why the company grows is because of their confidential strategies or confidential recipes that they are keeping, right? Which will differentiate themselves from other service providers or with other product providers who are in the same competitive market with them. So you need to make sure that you keep confidential information confidential. Right? Those are the ethics. These are the ethics that you are supposed to make sure that you follow. Right? Lastly, professionalism. Professionalism, meaning to say, do your work in an excellent way. Be professional. Be competent when you are doing your work. Make sure that you are competent. Make sure that you avoid mistakes when you are doing your work. right? So it also means that you have to show that you are competent, you are loyal, and trustworthy with your work, right? At work. So the way in which you communicate, the way you dress, the way you perform in a team, the way you follow instructions from the manager is supposed to be professional. Make sure that you dress professionally. You dress professionally. Make sure that you dress professionally. There are maybe there are dressing that are not acceptable uh, uh, for you to wear at work. Avoid, do not wear those dresses because they are not acceptable, right? If you wear them, it shows it portrays that you are not professional, you are unprofessional. There are ways that you are supposed to communicate at work. For example, at work, you have formal channels of communication, right? So one has to communicate formally, right? So the way you communicate is supposed to be professional. The way you perform in a team, the way you follow directions is supposed to be professional. So you're supposed to make sure that you work excellent. You're supposed to show competent at work. You're supposed to be loyal to your organization, and you're supposed to be trustworthy. The organization is supposed to trust you, right? It's supposed to trust you. You're supposed to make sure that you are loyal. You're supposed to be loyal. You're supposed to be competent. Work in an excellent way. That's being professional. That's being professional. So there are four elements of work ethics. We have punctuality, whereby you're supposed to be on time. For work, you're supposed to be on time for meetings. You're supposed to be on time when you're submitting deadlines, right? Work, right? You're supposed to make sure that you are always on time. Make sure that you are always on time, right? And then neatness, mean to say your work is supposed to be neat and your workspace is supposed to be neat, right? Make sure that you are neat and you are professional. The way you wear, your clothes are supposed to be clean. They're supposed to be neat, right? And then confidential, meaning to say you are supposed to make sure that you do not share confidential information with your friends. Keep confidential information confident, right? And also make sure that you keep sensitive information to yourself or classified information to yourself. And then professionalism, whereby I'm saying you are supposed not do your work in a what? In an excellent way. Make sure that you are competent at work, you are loyal, and you are trustworthy. Communicate, the way you communicate is supposed to show professionalism. The way you dress is supposed to show professionalism, and the way you perform and follow directions are supposed to make sure that you show professionalism. Thank you so much for your time. I will keep on posting. So please, if you did not subscribe, please subscribe so that you will receive the notification each time when I post. Have a good day.